Hey there, Game Changer here. So first of all, level 49, which is good because level 51, interesting things start to open up. You've got a 76% attacking and a 31% defense. Looks like using your fobs to good effect. You've deployed nearly 180 of them, so that suggests that you're working well. This 31% defense is where obviously I'm going to be looking at to see if I can obviously give you anything that I would see differently. Now, I always reserve the right to be wrong. Otherwise, I would have 100% defense rate, and I haven't. So obviously, there might be things I spot you disagree with, but that's all good. That's all good. Okay, so here we are at Tall Poppy Villas. Let's see what we've got. Now, first initial review is that your spawn zones look absolutely fantastic. You're really pushing your attackers quite far out there, which is excellent. And then we start to look in a bit more detail. We can see there Peacemaker number 1. And we can also see Peacemaker number 2. And obviously you've got the heavy platform, which is all good in the hood. That's obviously going to cause people major bother. Now, you're moving obviously CC5, you're moving obviously towards CC6s and things like that, so I may be coming at this from a slightly different angle, because obviously I'm a CC obviously 8 at the moment, obviously in the CC7 team, but 57 I could hit you. I mean, anything below 47 I cannot, because obviously I won't get any obviously metal for it, but you can see I could hit you here for 118 K. So I think what I'm going to tell you is valid. I'm just mindful obviously you're in a different tier, but I'm still going to be able to hit you. I'm still going to hit you with HIMARS, or I'm going to at least hit you with M270s. So here's how I look at it. Now, Peacemaker number 1, look at the overlap there. You're just outside of the global operations. Just outside. If you look at Peacemaker 2, just outside global operations. If I put my M270s or HIMARS or anything like that to this spawn zone just here, I can take out your war factory and probably not be picked up by anything in your platoon. Now, let's be honest, if I look at your defence as it stands now in terms of your defenders, which is why I asked for the videos of clips of those, you've got Cobras. Cobras are not really going to cause me any bother. I've at least got Macabre with Red Eye if I need it. I've got HIMARS with Red Eye. If I hadn't, I'd have M270s with Red Eye. So Cobras are not really going to cause me any sort of bother. You've got snipers. I could have had snipers. So yeah, Cobras, nah, as I've said in the previous video, Heinz may be. But as it stands there, that's not going to cause me any major bother. I'm not attacking with helicopters, so your snipers are not going to cause me any bother. But what will cause me bother, and it's there, I can see it before I even attack, it's glaring at me, is that great big tank and the fact you've got M270s in defence there. So I'm not going to strategize and try and take these two because they're not going to bother us. What I am going to try and take out is the war factory, and I'm sure everybody else would be of the same opinion. And because of the position of your peacemakers, there's a sufficient overlap where I could literally take out said war factory and not actually probably cause any damage. Now, I'm quite liking the mine there, because the other thing is, even if that peacemaker here on this side was picking us up, the likelihood is, and the same with probably the salvo, is that I would launch a tank from about here and I would send it across the baseline, and I would expect that said peacemaker, and depending where I put it, salvo would likely lock onto those. Meanwhile, I could hit you and obviously take out obviously your infrastructure while them two are baited. That's the definition of baiting, where you actually send them on a bit of a wild goose chase. Salvo is very, very impossible. It's impossible to bait a salvo because it locks onto you. That's one of the reasons I quite like salvos. But a peacemaker only fires where you were, not where you are. So if you keep that vehicle moving, it is quite easy to bait a peacemaker. But at this moment in time, your biggest single defensive structure, if you will, apart from your said turret, is pretty much game over straight away. Now, second thing I want to have a look at is just checking your turrets. So you've got options there to get to your turrets, maybe upgrade a little bit. Just check Peacemaker level 1 is probably max you could get. Machine gun level 6 is probably max. Salvo, can you get level 4 yet? Possibly not. No, so I mean they're working really well. Now I'm just mindful of your mine placements. Now I saw on your platoon that you were still potentially using Humvees. Now I loved my Humvees. I certainly used a lot of them back in my T3 as it was days when I worked with Mosby the first time round. You know, that's what we attacked with. Now, if you're still using them and that's effective at your level, then that's absolutely fantastic, and that's maybe why you're thinking mine placements here. But you've got M270, I've got M270, I've got HIMARS now, GMLRS, not too uncommon. So you've got to be defending by for somebody who's up to level 59, because they're still going to be at Nakia. So these mines need to be, in my opinion, placed where it's likely they want to hit you. So if I want to target that war factory and I put a mine around about here where number 6 is on that level 6, then that's going to stop me getting that up and over sort of method. If I took some of these machine guns out and perhaps put maybe an extra salvo in, then that's going to cause me bother. I'm not seeing any flak. I mean, yes, you may be using machine gun as an option for flak, but you need to be looking at some flak in there. I reckon you could probably take you out fairly easy with helicopters, which isn't my personal attack strategy. But if you had some beefed up helicopters, you probably could take out those machine guns. So you need to get some flak in there as well as. I'm liking the heavy cannon. I think that's absolutely fantastic. I'm liking the fact that you've got your turrets reasonably close together, which means if you hit one turret, something else is going to hit you. So for example, if I come from this side, I'm going to likely get hit by at least 2, maybe even 3 turrets. That's the kind of method I do like. But you need to be thinking of event strategy. Okay, so when you're playing the events, the weeklies and the monthlies, if you can't outrange that machine gun, so if that machine's going to hit you, if I hit that wall in front of said machine gun, well, guess what? I take the machine gun out as well, don't you? It's called splash damage. So the fact that you've nicely put walls in front of your turrets means that I have given myself an extra square. So I'm going to outrange that machine gun. So basically, game over machine gun. Thank you very much. All I need to do is stay away from that salvo, or if I put a tank in that green square there and then send tank up to, say, here, both the salvo and the peacemaker will lock on, and I could sort of drill into your base from this side. I'm obviously going to be mindful of that mine. I mean, that's a better mine placement, isn't it? I mean, that's far enough out to obviously cause me mischief. I can't negotiate around your base, but that mine there, what would I be coming in at that angle? Would I get to that sort of point? What would I be wanting to? Maybe you're thinking protecting your heavy cannon. You know, is that what you're thinking when people are going to come in from this sort of side here? Maybe they want to get up and under your salvo and peacemakers. So maybe that's what you're thinking there. But I'd certainly be having the mines a little bit more spread out personally. Now, I'm going to just pause your video and I'm going to open up my base at this moment, because I'm trying something a little bit new and I want to show you what that might look like.